In this lesson, we're going to learn about how to multiply and divide decimals. So we'll start with how to multiply decimals. Now, multiplying decimals is very similar to just the regular multiplication algorithm. There's just a little thing that we got to change about it. So we'll start with an example and walk through the certain steps. So imagine you have negative 3.9 and you want to multiply that by 4.075. Okay. The first step when it comes to any multiplication division is figure out your sign. So we have a negative times a positive. Well, we know that that means our final answer is going to be a negative. Step two is you just simply ignore the decimals and multiply the regular multiplication algorithm. Now, I like to put the longer number on the top, so in this case it would be 4075, again because we're ignoring the decimal sign, or the decimal point, and then 39, ignoring the decimal point again. And now it's just your regular multiplication algorithm. 9 times 5 is 45, 9 times 7 is 63, plus 4 is 7, 9 times 0 is 0, plus 6, 9 times 4 is 36. Then you put 0 at the bottom. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 2 is 22. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2, and 3 times 4 is 12. Again, just like the regular multiplication algorithm, you add them up. 5, 12, 9, 8, 5, 1. Okay, so now that we've done our normal division algorithm, we've come up with a long strand of a number. Step 3 is add up all of the digits behind the decimal points in both numbers. So again, we have 3.9 as our original and 4.075 are two original numbers. Like I said, you just add up the amount of digits behind the decimal points. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 numbers behind the decimal point in our original numbers. So step 4 is move the decimal point 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that means our final answer is 15.8925, and we can't forget our sign, which is negative. So a negative 15.8925. Again, go through it. You figure out the sign, a negative and a positive, that makes a negative. You get rid of the decimal points and just do your regular multiplication algorithm. You count up the digits behind the decimal points in each number. So we have 1 and 3.9, 3 and 4.075. So that's 4 total. You take your answer to the multiplication algorithm, move the decimal point over however many places, in this case 4. And that is your answer, and you can't forget your sign. So I'll give you guys an example to work on, see how you do. So we're trying to multiply negative 4.5 multiplied by 6.107. Give you time to work on that right now. Okay, we'll go through it. So again, first step, always figure out your sign, a negative and a positive. Okay, well that's going to be a negative. Next is the multiplication algorithm without the decimal points. And again, I like to put the longer number on top. It will work out either way. It's just my own personal preference. So 5 times 7, that's 35. 5 times 0 is 0 plus 3. 5 times 1 is 1. 5 times 6 is 30. Put a 0 down. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 2. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 6 is 24. Add them all up. 5, 11, 8, 4, 7, 2. Step 3, take your original numbers, which are negative 4.5 and 6.107. Take your original numbers and count up the digits behind the decimal points. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so step 4, take your answer to the division algorithm. Move the decimal place 4 spots. 1, 2, 3, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a decimal point there. 27.4815. Can't forget our original sign though, which we know is negative. So that is our answer. Pretty simple. Next thing we're going to go through is what happens when we're multiplying decimals by powers of 10. It's a real simple concept. It is, so say we have 5.63 and we multiply it by 10. When you're multiplying a decimal, or any number for that fact, a decimal especially, by a power of 10, you just simply count up the number of zeros. Okay, we have 1, and you move the decimal place that amount. So we'll move it 1. So 5.63 times 10 is equal to 56.3. Same thing if we have 5.63 only when we're multiplying it by 100. We have 1, 2 zeros, so we're going to move it 1, 2 spots. 5.63 times 100 is 563. Again, nothing too difficult. I'll give you guys an example to work on here. So, say we have 2.58 and you want to first multiply it by 10, and then if we were to multiply it by 1,000. Excuse me. Yeah, let's go with 1,000, not 100. Okay, I'll let you work on that right now. Okay, so we have 2.58 multiplied by 10. Again, we have 1 0, so we're going to move the decimal place 1 spot. 25.8. Simple enough. Then 2.58, now we're multiplying it by 1,000. Well, we have 1, 2, 3 0, so we're going to move it 1, 2, 3 spots. So what happens if we're adding another spot? Well, you just simply add a placeholder 0 right there. So 2.58 times 1,000 is 2,580. Okay, now we're going to talk about how to divide decimals. Again, this is very similar to the regular division algorithm, only we have to just change it slightly because we're working with decimals. So say we are trying to divide negative 26.65 and we're dividing it by a negative 0.06. Okay, first step, just like multiplication, determine your sign. So we have a negative and negative. Well, negative divided by negative, that's going to be a positive. Second step is you have to turn the divisor, which is 0.06, and we want to turn it into a whole number. Well, how do you turn into a whole number? Well, you just move the decimal places however many spots you need, so that's no longer a decimal. So in this case, we need to move it 1, 2 spots. So we're going to turn 0.06 into 6. So then you have to do the same thing with your dividend. So if we move the decimal places 2 spots, we have to move it 2 spots over here. So 26.65 turns into 2,665. From here, we just do our regular division algorithm. So we have 2665 divided by 6. And again, like I said, it's a regular division algorithm. 6 doesn't go into 2, but it goes into 26 4 times. 4, 2, 6. Same thing. 4, 2, drop the 5 down. Same thing. Okay, now we need to add another 0. Again, you got your decimal point right there. Drop the 0 down. Well, 6 goes in there 1 time, not 6 times. 1 times 6 is 6. Comes 4, 0. Drop the 0 down. Goes in there 6 times. 36, 4, 0, drop the 0 down. Okay, and now you're going to see if we continue this pattern, we're just going to get we're just going to continue to put 6 after 6 after 6 up here because, like you just seen right there, that would be a 36, 4, and again, we would just drop the 0 down again over and over again. So when you see that you have this number repeating over and over again, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, what you can just do is just write the first 6, put a bar over the top, and that indicates a repeating sign. So then, once you figure out your number, you just slide your decimal point straight up. So our answer to step 4, you just write the number, but you can't forget the original sign, which we know is positive, so we're just going to leave it as is. So a negative 26.65 divided by negative 0.06 is 444.16 repeating. Again, go through those steps one more time. You figure out the sign, negative and negative makes a positive. You take your divisor and turn it into a whole number by moving the decimal point however many places it needs to. And then you move the decimal point on the dividend that same amount. From there, you just do your regular division algorithm until you come up with an answer. In this case, it had a repeating sign, which is okay. Last step, you just write the number with the appropriate sign, in this case, positive. Simple enough. I'll give you guys an example to work on your own here. So we're trying to divide 23.492, dividing it by negative 0.04. I'll let you work on that right now. Okay, we'll go through this. Again, the first sign, or the first step is determine the sign. Negative divided by negative. Okay, that's going to be a positive. Step 2, take our divisor, turn it into a whole number. I'm going to move it over 2 spots. Well, then we got to take the dividend and move it over that same amount of spots. Got to move it over 2. So this turns into a 2349.2. And now, step 3, do our regular division algorithm. 2349.2 divided by 4. 4 doesn't go in 2, well, it goes in 23. 32, 9, 7. 7 times 4 is 28. So that's 1. Drop the 2. Goes in there 3. Okay. And now we move the decimal point straight up. Step 4, write it out with the appropriate sign. Well, we said it's positive, so it's right there. Again, determine the sign, negative and negative makes a positive. Turn the dividend into the divisor into a whole number by moving the decimal point however many places needed, in this case 2. Move the decimal point on the dividend that same amount of times. Perform our division algorithm. Write out your answer with the appropriate sign. So, negative 23.492 divided by a negative 0.04 is 587.3.